Alright, so when I first got into spirituality, you know what I'm saying, or had my awakening or whatever you want to call it, I don't really like to talk like that. But the first thing I would notice is what people call synchronicity, you know what I'm saying, where you say something or where you're thinking something and then like someone calls you because you were thinking about them, or like you said something, then it, like that person, you're talking about celebrity, and that person pops up on a commercial or something like that. Like I started experiencing a lot of that after I saw a video learning about synchronicity. After that I started noticing it 24/7, and for me it was getting crazy because my synchronicities were like freaking people out. Like I remember being at work when I was training at T-Mobile, and we were having a hip hop conversation, and I was like, man, Lil Wayne, what he did on a Millie, that was like fire or something. I don't remember. I was speaking about it real passionately, and that shit came on the radio. You know what I'm saying? And it freaked my coworker out, and he had to go take a smoke break because he couldn't believe like the randomness. It was just too eerie. I would get in Uber drivers' cars when my car wasn't working or something, and they would be talking to me about synchronicity as I kept watching more videos, because that was kind of my start. And then from there, I always started noticing the number 86. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing it everywhere, on license plates, on buildings, on cars, on whatever it might be. I just started seeing it more and more until I started documenting it and other people started seeing it, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. You know, I had kind of become obsessed with it, you could say. And then from there, I met my mentor. And when I met my mentor, he said that him and his wife got married in 1986, or they met in 1986 or something like that. That's how long they've been together. And when he said that, that alerted something in my brain, and I was like, me and him are meant to have some sort of relationship, and that was my synchronicity. You know what I'm saying? That was my coincidence. That was my clue. In between like the synchronicity and the 86, I would say I wasn't really looking into spirituality more than like wanting to get into crystals, but never actually buying any. You know what I'm saying? Just studying about it, learning about it, seeing other people with it, but never actually getting any myself. You know what I'm saying? From there, that's when I saw the numbers and met my mentor, and after that I started studying. You know, I would just watch videos from all the black spiritual groups. I'd watch videos on the Radicals, I'd watch Malcolm X videos, I would watch videos with Rastas, I would watch Ifa priestess making videos about spirituality and stuff. I was watching New Age people. I was just watching every single group. I was watching Farrakhan lectures because I was just like dying for information. You know, my spirit was just calling me to start learning, and that was the beginning. And then from there, you know, it wasn't enough. You know, I was studying health, I was studying food, and that was bringing me to a certain point. I had made myself physically healthier, but that wasn't enough. My spirit wasn't satisfied. So I began to start studying metaphysics. I was led to that by my spirit. I started studying metaphysics. I started studying more about mental health. I started studying for myself, you know what I'm saying? Because before I was just watching these videos. And before I was still using my religious mind and kind of just following along, because I never was taught or never knew that you have to go and branch off for yourself. So I was falling into that trap. And from there, I started studying for myself and started going where my spirit would lead me. And then, you know, they have the phrase, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I started finding all these other teachers that have gotten me help on my journey. You know what I'm saying? They have given me tools to actually help me, not just fill my ego up with big words and nonsense, you know? So, and from there, once I started studying metaphysics and stuff more, I started realizing like I had already started making videos back when I was studying health. And just back when I was watching all those videos, like I got inspired, my spirit told me to start making videos. But all I'd really do is make health videos, and I just kind of feel like I was copying, you know, whatever formula that was already out there. I wasn't doing my own thing. But the more and more I started studying metaphysics and stuff, I just realized how I started to actualize that I'm really supposed to be like a teacher or something. You know what I'm saying? One of the translations of my name is, oh wait, hold on, I'm skipping a step. Hold up. After I met my mentor, and I was watching all those videos and stuff. We already got to that. After I started watching all those videos and stuff, I started doing genealogy. And genealogy was another thing to empower me, because I was like, you know, we get told we come from Africa and stuff, or we get told we come from West Africa, or you might even get told Ghana or Nigeria or whatever, and these are just general terms that are using for these giant land masses, you know, and it's hard to really connect to it strongly. But once I did my genealogy and I really started to trace my roots and get to the bottom of all of my ancestry for the most part with the people that's alive, and it was something I could, you know, put the face to the pad, or I don't even know how to say it or put it into words, but it just really started to empower me, started to change my perspective, change my whole outlook on life. It gave me so much more drive, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, my continuing study of like indigenous cultures, and then, you know, then I'm studying the metaphysics and stuff, and then I really dive into, you know, just mental health and mental wellness and mind control, and, you know, the things that kind of plague our mind, because I feel like with my unique perspective, not saying I'm the only person who does this, I feel like everybody should do this, that I started to actualize that I'm really supposed to be like a teacher to try to give back this information. I really can't see myself doing anything else, you know, just helping people heal their mind. And that's kind of been my journey, you know. I'll make other videos giving more in-depth parts of it, you know. I had to like let go of fear of being scared of these spiritual tools and stuff, and I had to get rid of the religious mode. I had to do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And I've had different levels of shadow work. I've been at points where I was like deep in the shadow zone, or the trenches, or whatever you want to call it, mentally, and I pulled myself out of it, and I thought everything was good, and everything was not good. I only worked through some of those problems, but there's always more things to work through and iron out. Like, it's like a wrinkly shirt, and you get one side good, it's like, ooh, that side is crisp, but then the rest of the shirt is wrinkly and it still has to be ironed out. And that's something I also had to learn too. I also had to learn, and still learning, you know, the battle that we have with our ego, and that's something that's ongoing, and that's something that, you know, I've taken some time to study. And basically what I'm saying is, these things that I'm studying, I kind of got called to study because it's a part of the tools that I'm going to need on my journey. Not everybody has to study all of this stuff. Your thing might really just be to be a hairdresser, and I don't say that in a demeaning way, but I mean that you might be studying things that's not going to help you on your journey. You know what I'm saying? You might only need to study crystals or something, because the crystals is going to help amplify your hair skills, and it's going to amplify your business or something. You might only need to study things that relate to that, versus studying something that's not going to empower you at all. So that's basically why I'm making this video, just to kind of give an insight of what it could look like on a spiritual journey, how I got started, and how I got up to this point. Wanted to make sure I covered everything. Yeah, so that's basically it. Just to kind of give someone who's on their journey, you know, a little insight of what it might look like. You know, it's not all just abundance and 777 and 888 all the time. You know, I see angel numbers. I'm into that type of stuff too. Get into numerology, gematria, all that other stuff as well. But for the most part, the heavy focus is on the mental healing. You know what I'm saying? To get past that point, to start using the spiritual and metaphysical tools to empower myself to get to where I want to be in life and do what I'm here to do. So yeah, that's a little insight on my journey.